Hello again lads, and welcome back to another YouTube video. And as some of you may tell, it's been quite a while. Now while you've been sat at your computer screens wondering where I am, I've been doing a couple things. And the first thing is not a lot. But I thought, what better way to start my return by looking at the top 10 roller coasters coming out next year. Now I just want to say quickly that this has not been put in order, so if I mention one really good ride and then another quite shit ride, please don't come at me. It's not in order, it's just what I think the top 10 best new rides are going to be for next year. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So at number 1 we have Voltron. Now this is going to be located at Europa Park and is of course opening in next year. Now this ride is going to be a Mack multi-launch coaster, and it's definitely kind of have some elements that are going to feel quite interesting. As you saw there was a vertical launch. This ride also features lots of whippy transitions and lots of wacky inversions, especially some of them, as you can tell, of course, being inspired by RMC. Definitely looks like one to look out for, and that's coming to Europa Park, which will be located in the Croatia area and will be themed to the good old electric man, Nikola Tesla. Now up next we have another roller coaster. This is called the Flash Vertical Velocity. And I know what you're all thinking, wait a minute, there's already a ride called Flash Vertical Velocity. And of course there is, because this ride is coming to a Six Flags park. And you know what they like to do? Clone all their names. Now this ride looks to be a Vekoma shuttle coaster, and it's their brand new model, the Super Boomerang. Now I know a lot of you American fellows out there have been dying for a Vekoma, so of course you're finally going to get one of the new generation ones at least. And this looks to be like a pretty solid ride, to be fair. The only concern that I've got really is the capacity side, as this one is going to Great Adventure and I think there's one going to another Six Flags park, so it's kind of a 2-in-1. But yeah, unless they don't add a turntable, the capacity will not be the best, as it will only be running one train at a time, so could get pretty long queues, but I guess we'll have to find out when it's built. Now next one is a big one, it's Top Thrill 2. Now this is going to be, of course, using the existing structure for Top Thrill Dragster, and basically just having the same layout with a spike and an LSM launch instead of the good old hydraulic launch. Now of course this is definitely going to make it probably like 10 times more reliable, so definitely will be improvement. However, you are going to be losing that iconic hydraulic launch that launch riders from 0 to 120 in about like 5 seconds. And obviously in the new one you're going to be going, I think the first launch is like 80 miles an hour and then it's only like 20 mile an hour increases, so it probably won't feel as punchy. However, one thing I would be looking forward to is definitely going up that spike, as it's like, well, it's meant to be the same height, but of course it's never going to reach what, like 420 feet. However, it will be like probably about 300 plus, so going up that spike about 300 plus feet will be a pretty interesting sensation, as I don't really think there is any other roller coaster with such a big spike. And of course, after you go down the spike, you're just going to be going and following the good old Top Thrill Dragster layout. So it will make it look a bit more fresh and won't just look like the original Top Thrill Dragster. Now next up we have Palindrome at Kotor. Now this seems to be quite an interesting ride. It's made by Gerstlauer first of all, so of course features a good old vertical lift hill and of course vertical drop.
Where's no fucking shit?
But after that has an interesting element. Now this ride is actually a shuttle coaster. So basically after the drop there is a switch track, so it will switch once it's gone past the switch track and then come backwards. So this will be, I think, is one of Gerstlauer's first extreme shuttle coasters, so will definitely be an interesting experience. And looks like the layout will definitely be a lot of fun backwards. And judging from the animation, the ride looks really fast. Whether it will be this fast in real life, I don't know why, but definitely looks to have like a pretty solid layout, especially with the weird hump on the spike, which will definitely hopefully give some good airtime. And then of course you'll be going for the layout backwards, so going a bit slower, but of course you're going backwards, so it's going to feel probably even better, to be honest. And then of course, as you'll see, you'll go past the switch track and then go up towards the switch track, brake, and then it will do a twist, and then you'll be back into the station. Oh, this definitely looks like an interesting ride, and that is Palindrome coming to Cotaland next year. Next up, we have another roller coaster also coming to Cotaland, and this one is called Circuit Breaker. Now, this ride is going to be a Vekoma tilt coaster, and funny enough, its main highlight is it tilts. Now, as you can see here, you'll go from being, well, flat to going almost vertical and then dropping. So it's definitely going to be a very interesting ride. I think they made like one ride similar to this before, and that's it. So it's good to see this model come back, and it will definitely be quite exciting to ride. After a drop, you then go through a very obviously new generation layout from Vekoma, lots of loops and whippy transitions, and of course the perks of a new generation Vekoma is you don't bash your head or feel like you're in a car crash. So I'm sure this will be a brilliant ride, and this will be coming to Cotaland next year. Now, the next ride coming up will be Iron Menace. Now, this is going to be going to Dorney Park, and is definitely quite on the small side for a dive coaster. I think it's around about 150 feet tall. So if you're looking at it, even Oblivion's drop is bigger than this. Said it's a new roller coaster for Dorney Park. So if you're a Dorney Park fan, you'll be absolutely buzzing, because you probably would have waited like 20 years. So you may have not even been born the last time they had a new roller coaster. But as I said, it looks like a pretty solid layout after. Only downside, it is a bit short. But as I said, it's Dorney Park, so you can't really be expecting the best. You can't be expecting Steel Vengeance. So it's a new roller coaster, so we'll take it. Now, next up, we have Fire in the Hole. Now, this is going to be, of course, replacing the old Fire in the Hole at Silver Dollar City. And the main factor here is it's an RMC. Now, it's an RMC family coaster. So who knows what that's going to be like. But as I said, it's obviously an indoor ride, so we don't really know a lot about it. There's a couple of videos of construction inside, but we're not really too sure on a full layout. But yeah, it's a family RMC coaster, so who knows what's in store. But yeah, will definitely be one to look out for, and that will be coming to Silver Dollar City. Now, next up, we have Bobcat. Now, this is going to be coming to Six Flags The Great Escape, and also another park that doesn't get many rides. So this is quite a small scale wooden roller coaster manufactured by the Gravity Group. So you know, it looks to be like an interesting layout, but nothing really to shout about. For some reason in the animation, it looks like you're going about 100 miles an hour. No idea why. But of course, it's Gravity Group. It's coming to a park that hasn't had a ride for like nearly 20 years. So again, not much to complain about, just happy to get a new ride, and that'll be coming to The Great Escape. Now, last but definitely not least, we have Project Exodus at Fort Park. Now, this ride looks to be absolutely amazing. Of course, it's going to be the UK's tallest roller coaster, and of course the UK's fastest roller coaster. But that being said, obviously you can have those things, the layout could be shit, but this one looks pretty decent, to be fair. Especially with a lot of wacky elements, to be fair. And definitely the first time I've seen this turnaround before. I've never seen it on a ride, and I can't wait to experience it. Now, of course, at Fort Park, we've been waiting like 12 years for a roller coaster. So the last time I was literally 8 when Fort Park got their new roller coaster, the Swarm. So of course I'm now 19, so it's been a while. But yeah, definitely looks like a brilliant ride. If you want to find out more, go and check my original video about Project Exodus. It won't be too hard to find, just click on my channel and it's the last video uploaded. So guys, you've come to the end of the video, and that was the top 10 roller coasters I think are going to be opening in 2024. I do hope you've enjoyed. This is just a list of my ones I've picked out. I've just looked on RCDB and looked at the ones opening for 2024 and picked out the ones I think are going to be the best. If I've missed out any, please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.